Hello, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. Today we're going to begin a series of 3 beers from one of my very favorite breweries, and that is Kyoto Brewing Company. We'll look at 3 beers in turn, possibly 4, we'll see. There's one I'm kind of putting off and might age a bit, but we have 3 beers to look at from Kyoto Brewing Company, and this is a brewery that started in 2015 in the city of Kyoto, which was the ancient capital of Japan. And I have known the head brewer for a number of years, and I know the other 2 men involved as well. There are 3 people, an American, a Canadian, and a Welshman. And the American is the head brewer. He studied in the U.S., he studied brewing, and he did an internship at Lost Abbey in California. And then in Japan, he also worked at Shiga Kogen Brewery, which is one of the top breweries in Japan as well, up in Nagano Prefecture. They started in 2015, and right out of the gate for that year, they started in May, I think, April or May of 2015. And for that year, they were judged the best new brewery in Japan by RateBeer.com. In 2019, they were judged the best brewery in Japan by RateBeer.com. This is the annual RateBeer Best selection. They have a tap room which is connected to their brewery. Currently, they're open only on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And they, right now, they're serving only outdoors because of coronavirus. 3 main flagship beers that they have available all the time, and 2 seasonal lines. One is called Kimagure, and the other is Shunkashuto. And the Kimagure line is generally a pale ale or an IPA, something in that range. And Shunkashuto line is a saison. So that's Kimagure and Shunkashuto. Each of these lines come out with 4 beers a year, one for each season. And on Rate Beer, this brewery has 182 different beers listed. That was as of February of 2021. And on Untapped, there were 150 beers listed at an average score of 3.71 out of 5, which is pretty good. So Kyoto Brewing in Kyoto, Japan. We're going to look at 3 different beers from them. Let's get started. And here we are now with the 3rd beer in the series of 3 that we're looking at from Kyoto Brewing. I have many more, around 50 or so, in a playlist, so you can check those out. This is a fairly new one from them, and it's called Himari, and this is a Belgian red IPA at 7% and 42 international bittering units. On Rate Beer, it's classified as a red IPA, and it's so Belgian red. This is the kind of beer that Kyoto Brewing started doing from the very beginning, Belgian IPAs. In this case, it's a red one, and they do these things very well. They have in the past, and we're going to check out and see how this one is. 7%, 42 international bittering units, and this is part of their Mari series. They have a whole series of Mari beers. Mari is the kanji for hops, the old name for hops in Japanese, and the hi is scarlet or red, scarlet, and so Himari. There are other beers like Mario you can check out on their website, and also on my playlist, several Mari beers from them. Rate Beer, this one has only 1 rating at 3.9 out of 5, and which is pretty high. Untapped, 52 ratings at 3.88, and so these are both pretty high ratings. The malt bill for this one consists of Maris Otter, Pilsner, Munich, Crystal Medium, red rye crystal, and black malt. Wow, so that's quite a combo. The bittering hops, 1 Polaris. Flavor and aroma hops are Motueka and Mosaic. And the yeast is Belgian ale yeast. Looks good. I think we're going to give this one a go right now. The can design, I don't know if you can tell, this is of course a woman walking down the street in Kyoto. This sort of design on the front wall of a house is very typical of traditional Kyoto streets. And you can see she's carrying a can of what looks like Himari. So it looks like she's carrying a can of herself, and if we went smaller, we might see it even smaller and even smaller, even smaller. Okay, enough. Let's give this one a go. I love this brewery, really, Kyoto. Haven't been there for a while because of coronavirus, but I buy from them online. Okay, it's certainly not the prettiest beer in the world. Kind of a muddy, sort of reddish brown. I don't know what to say, how to describe this. It looks like maybe milk chocolate or something with a tan head, half a finger of tan head. So quite opaque. The aroma. All right, this is very fresh kind of fruitiness. Let's see if we can get up more up here. I need to let this warm up, probably. Nice fruitiness, kind of. I'm going to say not citrus, but I guess the Motueka is coming out more than anything else. So kind of like a pine and tropical fruit mix, I guess. Very pleasant, very unusual. Aroma. And okay. So the initial has some light, tangy fruit. Mid-palate, an interesting combination of malt really comes along. And I think the Motueka is probably the primary feature, but it's blended very well with the malt and the Mosaic. Belgian ale doesn't come out quite as strongly as it does in some of their other Belgian IPAs, or Belgian IPAs. In fact, I'm not really detecting it that much. I think it's adding a feature of kind of, pushing up the flavors a bit, but I don't detect it as Belgian ale yeast so much. Kind of rich in mid-palate, maybe something very light chocolatey sort of note and some caramel. Yeah, this is pretty pleasant, definitely. If it weren't for the color, I think I would, in any case, yeah, this is a beer to try for sure. And I say try anything from Kyoto Brewing, absolutely, give them all a go. If you are in Japan, you can order from them online. And if you're not in Japan, wait till you come to Japan and go see Kyoto Brewing. They're one of the top breweries in the country. And this again is Kyoto Brewing Himari Belgian Red IPA, 7%, 42 international bittering units. Okay, well that's it for today. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about Kyoto Brewing. Leave me a comment if you like. I will reply. Not immediately, but I certainly will reply to you. And subscribe to the channel. Okay, we're going to do so many more Japanese craft beers. My next group of beers is from a lesser known brewery called Second Story Ale Works. They're new, but they're quite good, and I hope you come along for that. And check out the Kyoto Brewing playlist I have to see some of their other beers. That's it. Bye-bye.